Malahondra. It's been a while. Have a seat. Thank you. We still haven't gotten you a newest voice modulator, have we? No, you have not. Well, let's see if we can't get one on order and ready for when you get back. Back, sir? You're being moved from training to assignment. We got a special request for an assistant. Some office I've never heard of out of the Colonial Administration. My training is incomplete. Correct, but you'll have time to complete it upon your return. Plus, this assignment will count for service time, so in some ways, consider it an early start on your work. I worry about not being ready, sir. Malahondra, you are more than ready for this kind of work. I didn't want to send any of those who have completed the training as I feel that they are overqualified for it. Oh, gee, thanks. It wasn't meant as an insult. You're doing very well in your training, and if it wasn't for the schedule of the program, I suspected you'd be finished already. You are one of our more talented students, after all. I'm almost regretting putting you in such a large chassis, you see. Tell me about this work. Oh, right. Well, you'll be sent to the capital world to work for someone in Rezakon. I can't say I've heard of him until this request came through, so I can't tell you much about him. But the work order describes a need for someone with the physical capabilities and combat training that you obviously possess, which you are going to be able to handle, with a selection of nice-to-haves that, well, also you fill out pretty nicely. Why would the Colonial Office need someone like me? Don't honestly know. But I do know that the institution has been paid the standard rate for your time. There is also hazard pay that we'll be sharing with you at a 80-20 split, so my superiors thought it would be, apt to approve of the request and send you on over. I understand. Good. Pack up your equipment, all of it, and head for medical for examination. When that is complete, head to Office 404 to get your peripherals removed and your transit instructions. I obey. Excellent. Now, Malahondra, I know it's been a few years since you've been outside of here. It might be a bit overwhelming, but make sure to eat regularly, avoid strangers, and try not to get into any unnecessary fights. The Colonial Office will handle your repairs, but such will be taking costs out of your hazard pay, starting with your 20%. We'll be very unhappy if you cut into the 80%, and that will count against your service time. Understand? I do. Wonderful. Go get going, Mel, and good luck. Well. So, where were we last time, guys? Anyone want to clue us in, or do you want to do intros first?
Oh, God. Did we do intros last time?
Well, it's been a couple weeks, Could have new people coming in.
Okay. Well, I'm Alex Carter, ex-military, turn my hand at private investigations, a few jobs on the side here and there as well to keep the money going. Nothing particularly interesting to say apart from that. I'm getting on a little bit, but still plenty fit enough. On to the next person.
Peter. Who are you? Peter? Peter? You there?
One sec, coughing.
Oh. All right, man, you go ahead.
I'm Velding. I'm playing Cash Sayo, a detective from a corrupt city. I do detective stuff.
Excellent. You're going to look at things.
We're going to have to compare criminology and forensics at some point. We're going to have a forensics off or something.
I think you're
That'd
better
be
at that
interesting.
stuff.
I'm Peter. I'm playing Mal, a hacker. Yeah, bit of a hacker, bit of a systems. Mess around with computer systems, that kind of stuff. Mostly just trying to be curious about the world, and most of that's hidden away behind firewalls. So
Excellent. So Gepwin is not here presently. He'll be joining us at some point here. He had to go do a quick errand, but he'll be in here. I also want to let Peter know that I've been warned against giving you a flamethrower. Yes.
yeah, that's the thing.
Rude.
So last time you guys were in hot pursuit of one of your the NPCs that came along with you. Why is that?
To find out what's going on. It does look suspicious, though, that she may have, I don't know, gotten infested with the malware or malware
Murdered the guy.
for hers and become. Or Melandra has gone nuts, possibly psycho cyborg style. I don't know. We shall see what's happened. But yeah, that's my theory.
So either it's an entirely murderous android that we have to try and track down, or it's an android that's chasing people that kill people.
Yeah.
Although the evidence is leaning towards murderous.
It is certainly leaning toward murderous. But I'm prepared to give Mel an opportunity to speak. I've not seen any obvious evidence of her being dodgy, but yeah, there was an issue with someone getting murdered on one of the ships that she arrived in at the station that we were at a while back. So the coincidences stack up only so far before you start thinking to yourself,
Yeah, there's
only somebody's going to drop before you start thinking murder.
Yeah.
So I will say, for the audience, that there is presently 3 bodies that have been discovered with a particularly unusual carving in them. That have a sigil sort of design with weird symbols and things like that. And so far of the bodies, there seems to be some variance, but the overall design is very similar to a series of murders from a few years back. Anyway, so you guys are in this, this vehicle that the locals, the clones, this guy and this lady, refer to as the bus. It is their large, move people around on the planet's surface, vehicle, and it is, has a little snow plow on the front. There's some windows. It has a big track thing going on, so it, can deal with the potentially very unstable and hazardous terrain of this mostly frozen planet. And you guys are presently in pursuit, following the tracks of the cyborg. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly look at Simon's tracking skill. Where is that? He has a skill of 11. So we're going to see how effectively you guys have been so far on going forward here. So just for people not familiar with GURPS, we roll 3d6 for most things, and you are trying to get under your skill by some level. Now, he's failed it by once. You guys have been actually a little bit slow, getting together and following the tracks. She has a 30 minutes lead on you and is on foot, so you will eventually be able to catch up. But otherwise, you guys are having a little trouble keeping the path for the moment.
Damn it.
So that's where you guys are right now. So I will say that the interior of this vehicle is actually pressurized, so you're able to communicate without having to talk through your breathing masks. Because remember, this planet is not too hospitable for human life. It says the atmosphere is very thin. It's like being at extreme altitudes. So that's where we're at right now.
Fair enough. Are we still moving then? Are they still in pursuit?
Yes, yeah, you guys are moving. I'm not going to animate the train moving. You just imagine that this is the vehicle traveling through the countryside. I do got a little description if you guys are interested, but I think since you guys have been delayed, I'll hold off a little bit on that. So what are you guys doing to pass the time?
To be honest, personally, not that much. Making sure my equipment's in check, but apart from that, I'm just a bit miffed that if she is responsible for this, that I didn't see it earlier. I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit about that, but I'm just hoping that she's not and that she's pursuing someone. But yeah, so I'm pretty much quiet, checking my equipment, sticking to myself.
Yeah, and mostly just looking out the windows, watching for the robots that were known to be in the rough area, to see if they're spotting in the distances.
Yeah, you've not
because I haven't seen them yet personally.
You've not seen any robots showing up so far, and I forgot to put Eli in here because he's with you too. There he is.
Hi, Gepwin. Gepwin arrived. Yay!
Hooray! Gepwin.
Although you haven't actually, you've only just arrived. You've already failed one roll. So
I had you roll tracking to see how well you guys were pursuing.
Isn't that just like me? I even have horrible dice luck when I'm not even here.
You only missed by one, so you're not super delayed. But I'd say that, given that you've been able to determine that at some point she started just kind of flat out running, you guys probably have about 10 to 20 minutes before you catch up with her. But you are following along. So I'm just kind of going through, seeing if anyone's sort of spending the time in this pursuit, doing anything particular. Anyway?
I have a wrist-mounted computer. Do I have Pokemon Go on this thing?
God. And no one's created any portals on this planet.
Oh, but you're on a new... this is the future, so they can sort of, Minecraft this up. It just generates portals and things like that automatically.
Full well Minecraft will be on every device in the future as well.
Probably.
Well, there's also Minecraft 2 Skyrim, but yeah. Skyrim and Minecraft at the same time.
We're also going to be at like 5,000 Pokemon by this point.
Yeah, that might be a low estimate, actually.
But they still won't have got trading to work on Pokemon Go.
It's like, just need to develop trading, guys. Come on. Yeah, remember, this is over 1,000 years into our future, so there's plenty of time to not only have 10,000 Pokemon of various sorts, but also like 400 Star Wars movies, and the Avengers Super Marvel universe has gotten just out of hand.
I expect that there'd be a whole host of franchises that we haven't heard of yet, and that all the ones we know about now are just gone because they're just boring in comparison. The people's interests just aren't compatible with them anymore. Except some really weird, old-fashioned people that are kind of like, there's like really horrible nerds that they have to collect the vintage boxed this and that. There'll be some of those that like it, but nobody else will like that stuff.
Well, this is the far future, so there's entire planets where that's like everybody, but nobody, everyone else in the universe is like, what's up with these guys? Anyway.
And Rocky 5000, apparently.
Yes, Rocky 5000. So if you guys are sort of just killing the time, Eli will be, kind of, starts going. Do you think I should try to give her a call?
That was an option.
Tried that yet?
Time.
I haven't tried that yet.
Well, I did, unfortunately, and there was no answer.
And
try texting. She might be in the middle of something.
Oh, that's a good idea. He pulls out his phone and starts poking at it, and sort of holds it up and is like, "Am I gonna get reception here?" That's a good question. Dorcas mentions that they are still within range of the main base. The repeaters there are probably still quite workable for it. That he sends out a text, and a few moments later he gets one back.
Oh God.
I said, where are you? And she said, on mission?
Ask her if she did a murder.
Ask her what happened on the ship.
Okay, he starts poking at his keyboard there, and sends out the message. And for the moment, there's no reply.
Is it possible for me to be able to track the reply signal when it comes back?
conceivably. Do you have any equipment to help you with that?
I have. Let me find what they've got available. I know I've got the implants for communications, and just helping with decking stuff. I don't know if that's going to do tracking, as well. I was curious.
I'd say you got a skill in electronics operations surveillance, and you do got basically a device that's radio capable, and this is the future.
Okay,
so give this a roll.
Yes, I've got this up. Yes, I've got my electronic surveillance, and I've got my wireless communication. I should be able to use those.
All right, I will give you a -2 penalty because this is something you're not used to doing ever. So give me a roll. Your skill, is 12 -2. And you are like, oh yeah.
Dead easy.
That was not expected.
That was a damn good roll.
So it's not a crit, but it's pretty close. Actually, let me double check that. It might be a crit. And where is that? Yeah. Go ahead and feel free to talk amongst yourselves about the whole situation for a few moments while I look this up to be sure.
I was not
Extra
expecting
to
it to
confess.
reply.
So, do you deal with many murders? I mean, I've known you all for less than a day, and
I have done. Not normally. It's normally small stuff. Missing people mostly. Maybe looking for cheating spouses. Sometimes finding kids. That's what I normally deal with. Murder's not normally something I deal with, but every now and again it crops up. It's a hazardous world, hazardous universe.
Indeed it is.
This is like the second one in a week, though. So
Yeah, it's getting a little bit hairy.
Eli gets a text message, and Peter knows exactly how far away and what direction the text message comes from. In fact, you also are able to read the text message, because that was a success. And you know, as well as Eli knows, and he explains it to everybody, that the text message says, I gathered my stuff and then left. So
I'm going to turn around to everybody before he replies, because we still really don't know whether she's lying, whether she thinks she's telling the truth, or whether she is telling the truth. Do not know.
The thing is, though, all she said is, I gathered my stuff. She's clearly left out the part where the person dies.
But
So either she doesn't know the person died, and say either doesn't know the person died, or she just doesn't leave that piece of information out.
Or she left before they became dead.
That's what I'm saying. Didn't know.
Yeah. So it's like, it could be lying, could be telling the truth, don't know yet. So I don't think we should tell her that anything bad has happened in case she is responsible and doesn't know that she's responsible. It might be worth just finding her and talking to her about it and then leaving it at that.
Eli gets another text message. I will be sometime. I will return to you guys at some point in the next couple days.
Right, I'm going to relay the location information to the team and to the driver.
All right. The driver says, "Oh, that's like not too far away. We know that place. There's a old it's an alien like airport, I guess it's called. Not too far from here. Guess we should be heading that direction. In fact, following the tracks is going to take us there, but they might be trying to head through this forest coming up here, so we might be able to make some time by actually going around."
Okay.
So do you keep with the tracks, just try to go through the forest, or you got to go around?
Going
Or they
around
can-
sounds good.
If they can save some time.
If you can get there faster, definitely. We should be trying to resolve this quickly.
All right. Because then, if you guys are get around the forest and are unable to find her tracks, there might be some trouble. But if that's sort of the general area, to look, that is a good starting place. All right.
Yeah, if we can go around on the, we can continue through by yourself. We can always catch up with. You can always catch up with us if we need to. If we can't find the tracks.
Let's say if we find that location, if we've got the exact location, then there will be tracks at that location, or there'll be evidence of a going through. So yeah,
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
We should be fine.
I mean, the alternative is tracking her footprints while we move a tracked vehicle through a forest, right?
Yes.
I'm sure Benson and Narcus can get through by themselves and we can just go around.
So, I got to, so are you going to be sticking with the vehicle and going around, or?
Yeah, I'm cool going around.
Yeah, to go around.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Eli says that, do you mind if I sit down for a few minutes and try to take a nap? I'm just so out of it at this point. Is that okay, guys?
I'm being sat in the car. You should have rested earlier.
Yeah. he just seems kind of just off about this whole situation, and he's looking to basically get your permission to lay down and try to take a nap.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, is he behaving weird now? Or is that just me? Like, because he seems like he's behaving a bit weird.
Well, do think about this though. His someone he's worked with for quite some time now seems to have maybe gone crazy.
Hmm.
So,
Before or after we met them?
that's a good question.
Well, yeah. That's a good question.
My only interpersonal skill is interrogation, so there's not much I can do to help with this.
Well, I guess maybe everyone give a perception roll.
What's the difference between observation and perception? Observation is watching an area, isn't it?
I see nothing.
Always forget this.
Because I have observation.
Observation. Which is, I think observation is about inspecting but not looking like you're inspecting. And
I see.
yes, this is the talent.
Based on that roll, I'm just looking at the wall right now.
Observing dangerous or interesting situations without letting others know that you are watching.
Ah, okay. Well, that's not relevant. Okay, perception then. This is a visual thing or just a regular perception roll?
Just a regular perception. I guess visual works if you got a special bonus to it.
I do. Wow, made it by 6.
All right. What's everyone make it by so far?
-3.
Yeesh.
I got -6.
All right. So, you guys get the general impression that he's very nervous about something, but he also, there's might be a good reason for that at this point. And the clones don't seem to be catching up on anything else special, so they're not going to be bringing anything else.
Well, I'm going to keep an eye on him in case he, I don't know, tries to send out some sort of warning or something. I don't know. In fact, I might mention to Mal, is there any way I could have be able to be quiet and talk to someone without someone else hearing in this vehicle?
Oh, certainly. The vehicle is chugging along. It is kind of noisy.
Also, a lot of people have electronic devices. You can send text-based messages if needed.
That is also very true. That is very true. Okay, I'm going to send a little message to Mal and say, might be an idea, that little gizmo you've got that keeps track of comms, to make sure if he sends anything else out again that we know about it, he's acting a bit weird.
So Eli is sort of laying down in the seats and closing his eyes and things like that at this point.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to reply it's a good idea, and I'll try and just put the system into listening mode.
Cool. So I got a description for you guys if you're interested.
Yeah.
The light of the day casts the world around you in an eerie blue light. The mix of ice and snow that covers everything reflects much and keeps things quite bright, even as the rotation of Kosambi slowly causes the sun to sink towards the horizon. Everyone in the land crawler is for the moment breathing the air of the vehicle, but have at hand breathing apparatuses of some sort within easy reach. The land crawler, also known as the bus, is a tracked vehicle, but is traveling at a decent pace over the frozen terrain under the direction of your tracking expert and the 2 clones. Outside, if one cares to look through the small portholes, one can see the vehicle approaching what looks like a frozen forest. Trees that died millions of years ago and have since become partially fossilized. Some even look like they still have leaves on them, a byproduct of their alien biology. Ahead into the side, just beyond the forest, rises an alien structure, some sort of tower being the most visible. Benson quietly mentions that the tower belongs to the aircraft facility, and it sits on the outer edge of a substantial metropolitan ruin. And that perhaps if your prey is to make an escape, they might be heading towards that city.
I think I prefer the term quarry than prey, but hey, if they want to call her prey, then I mean that's just them being even more weird than normal.
Well, they are a bunch of clones. They don't get out much.
You need to get out and see new people. Not more clones of each other.
So, Mal. So 2 things are going to happen here in the next few moments as you guys start rounding about the edge of the forest. First up, Mal, you get basically a hardware handshake call.
Okay.
Do you answer it?
Does it initially look like it's coming from some known tech or from one of the alien tech?
It seems like something you've not encountered before.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to answer this one.
All right.
See what we're approaching.
Make a will save. So basically, roll your willpower, and if you succeed, let me know. If
Yep.
you do not,
I did.
all right.
Succeeded by 2.
And you succeeded by 2.
Yep.
For a brief moment, you feel kind of weird. In fact, you reach your hand up and you rub your nose and you put your hand down, and then you're back to normal, and that signal's gone.
Well, that's an odd one.
Yes.
Does he at any point feel the urge to kill?
No, nothing like that.
Good.
Guys, I just received a weird signal in the area, and it appears to have the ability to affect me somehow. It lasted only for a second, but I managed to get rid of it. But there's something fishy going on in this area.
Most
Your kids
certainly,
and your phones.
because at that exact moment, there is a sound of plinking.
Like hail on the outside of the bus or something?
More like something's colliding with it. It's like some sort of high velocity round, perhaps.
So like hail made of lead, sort of thing.
Hail made out of something potentially very deadly here.
Ballistic thing. Okay, I'm gonna run up the front and find out what the hell the clones thing's going on.
All right, so first off, I need to do a little bit of math here. So I made that by 5, and so that means that means 3 of the rounds hit. The vehicle. Where is my damage? Where is my major damage here?
Yeesh.
Yep.
That's some fucking big rounds. Good God.
All right. So this is a little bit of, I'm going to do a little bit of primer because we do got some new players here on some of the basics of combat here. So to roll for a hit, you basically are trying to roll under your skill, like with any other skill, situation. There are a number of bonuses here, and I will, for full, accounting here, I'm going to go through each of the ones that matter here. So the entity that is firing upon you is braced, so they get a +1. They have taken time to aim, and thus get a +7 base from their weapon of choice, as well as some other things, such as using a scope gives another +2. They have spent extra time aiming for another +2, and they are firing multiple shots for another +2. They have so that means they're using going through their ammo faster, but they are more likely to hit because you're sort of spraying an area. They are also targeting the vehicle, which is at its largest dimension +5, but given the angle, it's only a +3 for them. And they are also at range for a -16, for a total for a total bonus of +1 to their skill. So
this is like super sniper territory.
A little bit, yeah. So I did roll some damage there. It looks very scary. Now this is also targeting the vehicle and not you guys. So that's probably
that is scary. If that hit me, it would be very scary.
The damage does have a armored visor because of the type of weapon it is.
What's the divisor? I'm curious about how big that is.
So this is why I need the calculator. So the armor for the vehicle is 40, which is pretty dang good. But the armor divisor is 3, so it divides that by 3. So from all these damages, subtract 13 from these. So the first damage will be 12, 10, and 14. So that's where we're at as far as base damage there. It's also piercing minus, so that's also halved on top of that for a 6, 5, 7 final damage. So could have been a lot worse.
So they're firing non-armor piercing rounds at an armor vehicle.
So I just wanted to go through the steps by step as this thing goes off, so you guys aren't totally like, what the hell's going on?
My first question, I'm going to very quickly say, is: has this vehicle got weaponry that can be controlled from the outside of it? Or from the inside, I mean.
You have not seen any.
Okay, carry on.
So
can we see out the windows what's shooting at us?
I accidentally moved the thing. So give me a moment here. I want to make sure I'm getting everything done correctly. Doing a full counting, because your vehicle now has 82 hit points left. Just so you know. So, all right. So, since we are kind of in a combat situation, though not a firm one, we are going to be going by people's speeds. So that means the first person who is able to act has already acted. But Simon, you're up next.
Is there a top hatch or like a sunroof on this thing?
Yes. However, the interior is pressurized, and so in order to do that, when you open that up, that will depressurize, everything, and so everyone will need to pretty much immediately put your masks on. Also, it might affect people adversely if you don't go through the full cycle, which will take a turn.
In that case, I think I probably need to roll against my impulsive.
All right, go for it.
Let's see, where is my impulsive and how does that work?
So your impulsive is a disadvantage that you gotta, so you're thrill seeking. It's like there's something going on. Let's go do this thing, and so your control rating is 12. So you have to roll under that.
All right.
All right.
Oh, easily.
You're able to control yourself.
Good. And I do not open the hatch. That would be a bad idea. And I instead try to look through the front window to see if I can see what's shooting us.
All right. So give me a perception roll.
I think I made that by 2.
All right. So you were able to, because you are also in the front, I'm giving you a little bit more information than other folks might get. You were able to sort of see the general behavior of the impacts that came through that struck the vehicle. That they appeared to be coming, let's say, a line sort of like this across the front of the vehicle. Some of them, plinged off the little
dozer blade thing.
The nose blade thing, which is now detached, because despite me having it grouped before. But the 3 hits did impact the vehicle in a negative fashion. But the general trajectory suggested that the firing came from... Where's my little dealio again? From this general direction, which is pretty much straight towards that airport tower over there.
So the bullets came in from like that, you're saying?
Yes.
Just happens to be where those tracks are in the dirt.
Strange, isn't it?
By the way, the tracks over there are a coincidence. I just wanted to add something curious. Short story there is, you see the little bones up the top at the end of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever creature this was wandering through here and then died. That's all it is.
and it rotted away so quickly, even its tracks weren't blown away.
So.
In that case, I'll just yell, it's probably coming from the tower, and I think that's all I can do this turn.
All right. So that's what you're doing. All right. Next up, it's Norcus and Benson. They are in a bit of a panic, but they are going to, turn the vehicle. Now, I'm not going to actually do it on the map because this is all sort of, things are coming in from far away at this point. And they're going to basically point it towards the tower so that they have a smaller profile, and more of the blade up front is covering the vulnerable, bulk of the vehicle. And they're gonna, we're gonna have Benson calling in, start calling in to the home base that someone started shooting at us. We are this location, etc. So they're sort of in crisis management mode right now. Next up is Cash. So,
all right. Well, we've decided to charge the position. I assume that are we going flat out?
Well, they've turned the vehicle so it's pointed towards that direction. They've not changed their speed at all. But you could suggest such.
I'll get up there and tell them that we need to hit that tower as quickly as we can. Otherwise, they're going to keep shooting.
Benson, nods and says, I think you're right. We need to get up there as quickly as possible. They have height advantage potentially if they're up in the tower. And or otherwise we're sitting ducks. Or a future version of that term. Anything else you can do? Anything else you're going to do?
Nope, not really. I mean, we might have to bail, so I'll get ready for that.
All right, Mal, what you up to?
I'm going to grab a mask off the... being prepared for decompression, because if someone's shooting, they can penetrate the hull. So it should be an instant decompression.
Very good
and,
idea.
And I'm going to position myself for a quick evac if we need to. Because if we can get close enough, I can potentially move around us, so I've got a little bit of stealth ability. But I don't want to jump yet because we're too far out.
All right, cool.
Just eyeing up roughly what I can see from the distance, which at this distance probably just the tower and that's it.
Yeah, you can see the tower. You guys are still close to a mile out. So this is still a ways off.
Yeah, but from where I am at the back, I'm just looking out to make sure there's nothing else going to sort of flank us.
All right. Cool. Next up is Eli, who is roused from his snap. Like, what's going on? What was that? And do I need to roll any of his disadvantages here? Don't think so at the moment. I should really organize these by title here. There we go. Okay. So that will not come to effect until probably after the battle. Anyway. Next up, is Alex.
Yay, slow Alex. So is there any cover that I can see between us and the tower that we'd be able to utilize to maybe, it might take us longer to get there, but we might be able to stop some of the fire coming in?
All right, give me a perception roll. I'll give you a +2 bonus to this because you are actively looking out, and it's sort of, other than the parts that are obscured by the forest, you can see, pretty much a good bit of territory here.
+2, huh? Yeah. Made it by 3.
All right. I'm going to say that you see a rise that may provide, like a small, lump of ground that rises up that may give you guys some partial cover as you approach the tower. It'll be a slight deviation from the main course, but it's not too far off.
But if it gives us a shorter amount of time where we're in fire, then it's going to be benefit overall.
Hopefully, assuming that this is for sure coming from the tower.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Gepwin knows his stuff. I'm gonna be, well, Simon, should I say, knows his stuff. So I'm pretty confident that that's probably true. Okay, I'm gonna turn around to the clones and say, maybe we should head a little off course around there, get some cover on the approach. Might mean that we get less fire. And I'm gonna turn around to everybody else without even waiting for a reply from those guys, because it's their fucking bus. They can drive it however they want. I'm gonna get my equipment together. And is there any kind of buckling up kind of a thing? Like, there's got to be some kind of, because I think we're in for a rough ride. So I'm gonna turn around to everybody as I'm getting my equipment together, get my coat on, get a respirator, and I'm just buckle up myself and say, "You better get ready for a rough ride, everybody."
All right. So your turn is complete then. Then it's time for our mystery person's turn, and you don't see anything going on. Simon, what you doing?
Well, if nothing's happening, I guess I'll do the prep for rough landing stuff that everyone else is doing. Get my armor ready and mask ready to go.
So, you secure your mask, secure your seatbelt, secure your butt, all that stuff. Excellent. Then, in that case, we are moving on to Norcus and Benson, and they are going to accelerate as best they can.
Yay.
So I need to roll 3d6. Their driving is mediocre overall, but they are going faster. So you estimate that you'll be able to reach the base of the tower in approximately, let's say 12 to 12 rounds in total.
Okay.
So,
if they keep hitting us like they did before, then we ain't gonna survive that long.
All right. So next up is Cash. How you doing? Anything special here?
I'm going to ask Carter over there if if his friend Mal is some kind of sniper.
Go ahead and respond if you like.
As far as I'm aware, Mel was mostly just hand-to-hand combat that I saw. Sniping just doesn't seem like her style.
Good to know. Thanks.
All right. Mal, you up to anything?
At this point in time, we haven't really got much more we can be doing other than prepping to evac and not get killed.
All right.
I'm still making sure there's nothing else going to flank us, because if we've been shot by one thing, there might be something else to watch out for.
All right, give me a perception check.
Yeah. Yep, passed.
All right, you do not see anything, robot or anything else. No giant cyborgs or space monsters. So things seem to be good.
So there's just a tower shooting at us potentially.
Oh, that's all you can tell at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I thought a fire out. So yeah.
Eli sees people sort of running up and in kind of lockdown mode, and he starts following suit. Alex, you up to anything special?
Not really. Might light a cigarette.
Right.
That's probably about it, though. This seems to me like the sort of time when a cigarette would probably be a really good idea.
And do you have any disadvantages that might suggest that you should really do this?
No, actually, no specific disadvantages for this.
I don't think Sense of Duty covers this one.
No, definitely not.
All right. So I will say that if there's not going to be any further actions or called for actions in the meantime until something else happens, that for the next 5 rounds that nothing seems to happen.
I figured they were reloading and it was like a fire every other round kind of a deal, but
then you guys are also getting closer. You guys are getting pretty close to that little ridge there. And so I'm going to do another attack roll.
Uh-oh.
All right, so the roll is 10. You are at, this is approximately the halfway point towards getting in. So the distance is now only a minus 14. So that that will increase the total bonus by 2. Everything else is the same, except you guys are now close enough to that little ridge there that I'm going to say that the profile of the vehicle is also reduced, so that you are going to get they're going to get a minus 2. So it's basically the same sort of bonus that they had before. So once again, 3 hits. Boink, boink, boink. So that's going to be a 15, a 9, and an 11. Divide those by 2. Round it down. So you're going to get 7, 4, and 5 damage.
I think the vehicle's going to handle it if it's so infrequent. I thought they'd be shooting much more frequently.
So
They might be now we're over the ridge.
Maybe.
I hope we don't have to get out of the car, because any one of those shots will kill me instantly.
Same. Well, if they're energy or if they're burning or explosive, then that's I might be able to handle 1 or 2, but they're not. These are physical piercing type stuff. It'll just cut me in 2.
It's like some sort of automated sniper system. It's really kind of strange.
Automated, you say? Did you say automated?
I said like an automated machine gun sort of thing. So. But for this particular strike, I think I'm going to roll on the vehicle hit table, because that sounds like fun.
Oh, see where it got hit.
For at least one of the rolls here. So that will one of those hits. I'll say the smallest of the group with the 4 damage there, and it hits the straight up body. That's not too interesting.
Nope. But it didn't shoot out like the pressure regulator of the internal atmosphere or something.
The pressure regulator, no, but there is something that happens here. The vehicle has sustained a major wound, so it needs to make a health roll. 6.
How healthy is our vehicle?
It's made the health roll, so its engine does not die.
Oh God!
So, hooray!
Seriously, that we dodged an engine death.
All right, so you guys had another round of attack against you. Is there going to be any new actions in the meantime?
I guess I'll make another perception if we're closer.
All right, go ahead and give me that roll then. And since you have a general idea of what you're looking for.
By a 3.
All right, and I'm going to say it's even more so. The shots are definitely coming from the airport tower.
Do those clones have any information on this ruin?
They will say that this place is not structurally sound, but it should be okay to enter and move around, on foot. They believe that they believe there's an entrance into the structure near the base of the tower. So if the plan is to try to run up there and stop this attacker, that is probably the only way to sort of get them without having to go through the extensive network of the airport.
Yeah, that's my plan, guys.
Yeah, just charge in there and find out what the fuck's going on.
So we're about, what, half a mile out now, if that?
Yeah, and closing in pretty quickly. I'm kind of fudging the exact, velocity of your vehicle.
Yeah, that's about. But, so if we... As we approach this airbase, I got a ping for the handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And then not long after that, we start getting shot at.
Yep.
So that would potentially suggest some kind of friend or foe system. Can I ping the system myself and try and see if there's anything out there listening?
I'd be careful in case you get your brain taken over.
Yeah, that's why if that's something I can do, I'm gonna just let everyone be aware of what's happening. Because if it is, then they can protect me, sort of secure me if needed.
If he's announcing that, I'm going to load a stun dart and aim it right at his neck.
I'll also pull out my sonic stun pistol and pull it at the other side of his neck.
Confidence.
Hey, it's a precaution in case you go completely nuts and try and kill us all.
90% of my
considering the fact
weapons
one
are
person's already
non-lethal,
done that.
it's okay.
So I'm going to say...
Considering the fact that one of our team members potentially already has been doing murdering, it's a good precaution to make.
So I'll say that this requires a communications roll here. So a skill of, your skill's 12 there.
Okay. And pass. By a decent amount.
All right. You send out a general sort of packet pinging sort of situation to see what ports are open, and you do successfully get the base signal of a hello, but it's not letting you in sort of situation.
Sort of password scenario. Authentication required.
Okay, let's see if we can probe this system, because I do have security and communications operations and hacking skills, so
all right.
Let's give those a try, shall we?
All right, and I will give you enough time before the next volley to give a roll on this here.
Okay, I'm just taking my skills on the... So it should be, if I'm making it right, it should be an 11 for the hacking. That's what we're trying to do, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Actually need to double check something here. So you rolled 7.
Yeah. Because it should be the 11 for the hacking, and the security is a 12, so the hacking be the lowest one. I assume that's what you do?
Yes. I actually need to double check something here. Make sure I'm not screwing this up in a weird fashion. Alright. So how much did you make it by?
It should be an 11, so...
Make it by 4.
4, sorry.
Alright. You do get some progress, but it is unfortunately not letting you fully in. Sort of a, we're aware of your intrusion, and nice try. And it's sort of the computer version of what's going on here.
Access denied.
Okay, so they're not going to get into that one, not remotely anyway. So, can I tell where the response is, if it's a military response or civilian style response?
This seems like a military style response.
Okay, so we'd probably, instead of approaching an airbase, probably airport more like we're approaching an air base instead. Something that would be secured, by the sounds of it. Which means that turret's probably not the only thing.
Well, I will also say that the interaction you just had was also very much not alien. Okay, you didn't require any of your special programs or codes for that.
Interesting. So we approach an alien facility and we get a non-alien response.
Yes.
That is actually very interesting.
Chat suggests that because it's a military base, we should try password 12345.
Sure.
Yeah, is there a luck roll?
There is some things that are sort of go for that. So, what are you trying to luck up here?
Well, just if you wanted to try the random almost obvious password.
Well, I believe somebody in the group does have intuition.
I do indeed, actually, with a 15 on it. So, would that be a roll for 15? See if it passes, or Or does it just add bonus to something else?
So you can roll intuition. I will say that this is going to be a very difficult roll, but it is possible. So you're going to be rolling, but I will be doing the behind the scenes math on this
counter roll
to let you know what's going on here.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, it's a good looking roll.
It's a good looking
Let's
roll.
find out.
But you can basically try to put in a few passwords, but it's not. You don't get anywhere. So the way intuition works is that you roll against your intelligence to basically educate a guess sort of situation, and then I add the number of correct possible options and subtract the number of incorrect possible options. And so for that particular roll, you basically have to roll a crit. So, so it is possible, but as you said, I wanted to sort of like, it's unlikely, but you can give it a try. All right. So, anything else you guys want to do before anything else happens from exteriors?
No, because I got a feeling if I keep trying to hit this computer, it's just going to be a bigger response back.
All right. I will also.
I don't have anything particular to do, but I want to have like a action ready if it looks like our vehicle is going to be disabled.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with Simon at this point because this is a situation where I don't have any useful purpose until we're out on foot and the shit hits the fan, and then I'm a little bit more useful.
All right. So there is. This is the driving roll, by the way. You guys actually speed up, and looks like you're going to get, very close to the tower before there is a round of fire upon you. Ooh, this is going to be pretty nasty.
That is going to be nasty. Fuck.
So you guys are effectively within very very short range here. So we'll say you're about 50 yards out still when this one comes in.
Are we? Quick question. The amount of time between the first and the second shot, is that about the same as the time between the second and this now third shot?
Yes. Not approximately. Could be a few seconds more, a few seconds less.
So with I would say at this point it's probably a reload time or a recharge time or something like that. Where okay, one last little question before you continue. If our vehicle gets disabled at this point, would I think that we could burst out the vehicle and run to the tower before the next shots are likely to ring out?
I'd say yes.
Okay, just something for us all to bear in mind.
Well, since we did like half a mile in the vehicle between shots, hopefully that vehicle wasn't moving that much faster than we could run.
Yeah.
All right.
Being treaded.
So for this one, there is no cover, so you're going to be facing down quite a bit more of the situation here. So let me double check my math. So that minus that plus that plus that. Actually, so that's going to be a pretty nasty strike there. In fact, that's sufficient to effectively be a crit due to the amount of fire that's coming in. So at least one of those bullets is going to be doing some nasty stuff here. So I think it might be just more interesting to sort of roll on that particular side of things here. Is there a special table for vehicles alone? I should have looked that up. We'll just use this here, and we'll interpret it appropriately. 3d6. All right, so the blow does double damage. That's not super interesting, but we'll resolve that first one. This is the one that hits the engine block potentially. So double that. So 46 minus the 13, so 30, and then divide that by half, so 15. And I think at this point the vehicle it's still moving, but it's slowing down quite a bit suddenly.
Is it gonna make it?
So
is it now moving slower than we can run?
It's getting about that speed, yeah.
So we might as well just bail.
All right, so you guys do have approximately enough time to get to the base of the tower, in the event that, you guys do, opt to leave the vehicle. So, do you?
Well, I would say at this point, yeah, I think it'd be a very good idea. We can make it to the base of the tower. The next shot might just fucking total the vehicle with us in it and burn us alive. So...
Plus, if we can get to the tower, it'll probably take a shot at the vehicle anyway, because it's still there.
Maybe.
Giving us a chance to get to the turret.
Any major objections, guys?
Just gotta make sure the pilots are ready to bail too.
Well, I'm gonna fucking shout at them to get the fuck out. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna be unbuckling and I'm gonna get all my stuff together. It's like, okay, go out, and I'm gonna do my leadership thing to try and get the NPCs to fucking move, because,
Can they put a brick on the gas or something so that it's still moving and is a valid target?
This is the future. Let's say there's an automated feature for it. It's on navigation.
Yeah, I mean, how lucky would it be if it hits the tower and it collapses?
It'd be hilarious. I think it's probably not quite that strong, but yeah, it would be hilarious.
Well, the vehicle probably, unless they program it quickly otherwise, will probably have a collision detection system, so we'll probably try to not run into things.
No.
Just sort of a general knowledge
safety
sort of
systems.
thing you should know. So, yeah.
Safety systems ruin everyone's fun.
All right. Let's see. So Gepwin, what was that roll for?
That was just my impulse control.
All right. So I will say that you can safely cycle the airlock in about a round. You got, and that'll be when the vehicle's still kind of at you guys' speed, but afterwards you guys are going to be able to, get out of the vehicle and start quickly outpacing it. And everybody, including the clones, which I need to make sure are actually on the next map, are able to move on towards the airport. Hooray! Oh, they are there.
Yeah, that's useful.
So, they point
That
to...
skull looks familiar.
Curious, yeah.
Interesting, yeah. So, they point to this general direction for the entrance to the structure is.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are approximately in these locations. And we're going to say that, unless you pull these guys out right away with you, that they are either all back in the vehicle, but they could also be with you presently. So I'll leave that up to you.
Oh yeah, I'm going to drag them along. I'm not going to leave them to get themselves killed.
All right.
Because they will. They seem a bit derpy.
Well, it does seem like combat experience. They are scientists in a lab, so...
Oh, and Eli is coming along, but he's he's coming much slower than you guys. I forgot to copy his icon over. Keep forgetting that.
All right, I'm going to sprint for the base of the tower.
Yep, I'm going to keep going.
Yep, hug the
Yeah,
wall.
everyone get moving.
All right, so there we go. There he is at. All right, so this is once again, sort of a combat situation, but I'm not going to be too crazy about it, but I'll have Simon move first. We'll have so move your basic move when I call out your name to where you need to be. So
I need to find that. Okay. Two, three, four, five.
hooray! All right, and next up is Norcus and Benson. They are 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. They're running this way.
Are they going to get shot? If they get shot, then they're idiots.
They're also clones. They're fearless, right? There's always more of them. Next up is Cash.
Are diagonals 1 or 2?
Usually 1, but if you're in a question, you can always use the ruler here. So
They're basically one.
All right, next up is Mal.
Okay, how do you get to the ruler, by the way? Is it just the...
Fourth icon down on the left, top left. The circle with the... It's like a Q that's skew F.
Oh, okay, that one. So, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, got 5, you say?
Mm-hmm. Come on, little friend.
There we go. Getting close to the tower, so hopefully it doesn't get a better shot when we're close.
Of course, Alex, you're coming in last. After Eli, technically. Who's like...
Well,
"Don't
Eli
leave
can
me."
fucking get his...
Yeah, he's kind of going behind this little bit of machinery here. For the time
Fair
being.
enough. I'll let him off.
All right, back to the top of the round. So far, this is about the round where you would expect another volley of fire, and none of it comes.
Good.
Next up is Simon. So where are you going?
I'm gonna keep hugging the wall, but I'm thinking if there's any. I probably don't have anything. I'm just thinking if there's something any of us could throw out that would be enough of a decoy that would waste a shot. I can make bird calls.
The NPCs are out there, man. What more can we do?
It's the sad truth, but yeah.
By the way, anyone with tactics knowledge may be thinking that they're actually trying to be a distraction, just so you know.
What, the clones?
Yes.
I don't think that's smart.
Weirdos. I don't like them. I've never I don't trust them.
Now, do note
Just
that...
for reference, I'm trying to stay as close to the wall as possible so that someone up top couldn't see me easily.
All right. So I will say that the top of the tower here, with all the devices, is several levels up. So even if you are to get into the doors over yonder, it will take you a couple rounds to get up to the top as well. So, but if everyone can get to that double set of doors without any issues, I will say that you can all get up there. So next up is Norgus and Benson, and they're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Cash.
Can I just jump through this barrel, or do we have to go around?
Yeah, the barrel is
go
actually
under
up on stilts, so you can go under
Oh,
it.
good.
I'm good.
Oh no, a new version of Java is available. Right, Mal? You are presently the most
go.
exposed to the PCs.
And now I'm underneath a barrel.
Hooray! Now you're the least exposed. Right,
Someone's shooting, I'm getting cover.
right. Eli is actually going to take cover behind this machine, and he's going to try to hide. He's probably not going to be of much use here, guys. And Alex, you're up next.
Done.
All right, so top of the line, and it's time for someone to take a shot. All right, so there is only one shot this time as opposed to a whole salvo, and it is going to land approximately here.
Hmm.
And the clones are red mist.
Now it's only a single impact, but it's kind of obvious as well because ice and snow kind of goes and poof up after it impacts. So it's very clear that came from somewhere up top perhaps. Anyone could make a perception roll to try to make an estimation of what exact location of where that person may be. If they care.
Yeah, go on then. I mean, yeah, sure, I might as well. Oh, just made it on the nose.
All right. You do get the general location that it is coming from approximately this location from, several stories up, of course.
Suspicious. Okay.
All right. Unless there's anyone else who's doing perception rolls, try to beat that. We'll move on to Simon.
Would anyone prefer a grappling hook up to the window instead of running for the door?
That is an interesting option.
Well, my counter question to your question is, do you mind soloing Melendra if she's hostile?
Well, we could all climb up the thingy if you want. It's not like it's one of those little like Batman-esque things.
But there's someone's gonna get up there first.
That's true.
So who's the most beefy?
Probably Cash.
Really?
Possibly. I'm not joking. I think we should probably just do the stairs.
I mean, you could always we go for the stairs and you wait at the back, and then we got two different angles.
That's true. I need to see if I do my cool idea though, because I had a idea that would get me to the enemy faster. I think I failed it by 1.
Oh, so you're gonna do it.
It's time to grapple hook.
Yep.
God.
So, gonna make that, make an attack roll.
Oh, also bad.
Yeah. So, you fire your thing up, and what's your skill here?
Grapple guns, skill, let's see. It's just 1 point. Where the heck's the skill?
It'll be innate attack, so you actually make it by 1.
Oh, cool.
Could all use the same stat or skill. So your grappling hook almost misses, but it actually catches just barely on the edge of one of the upper windows, and is secure.
All right, I guess I start climbing. What is my base climb? I cannot finding anything on this sheet.
All right, your climbing is 12.
Okay, and then I have rope climbing for -2, and I have climbing gear.
Yes. We'll say that because this is kind of in the heat of the moment, you probably aren't going to be able to use your gear. But give me a base climbing roll, and we'll see if how successful you are.
I made it even without my rope climbing skill.
Yeah.
Hooray! All right, so you're going to be going up pretty quickly. I will say that in 2 rounds you'll be at the window.
Okay.
It's going to take us about 4 or 5 to get to that door, so you might want to hold off once you get there from exposing yourself.
We'll see.
Yes, we'll see. All right, so that's pretty cool. Next up is the clones. They hesitate and move close to this bit of machinery here and say, I think maybe running across that open space is a bad idea.
Wow, that's so smart.
They're actually brilliant, but they're not used to being in actual tactical situations. So either that or they're brilliant and they are just very selfless for you guys. Anyway.
I just think they're stupid in general. I think that they've been cloned one too many times, like a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. It's
where did this clone come from? Oh, we copied number 2. Sorry. All right. I actually do a double check. They do have laser pistols out, by the way, at this point. So I just want to be sure that they actually have weapons. All right. Next up, we got Kash. What you doing? All right.
I'm just going to keep moving.
All right. Mel? Now, by the way, you guys could potentially follow, Simon up the rope, but...
Yeah, but one at a time going up to the rope, whoever's shooting is probably not a good idea.
And Eli is going to continue to cower because that's what he's like. Alex!
Are there any lower down windows from the one that's been grappled? What's actually been grappled? You know what I mean? Is there like, can we enter through a lower window or something? And then
there are no lower windows other than the ones up at the tower, so it's like a big concrete pillar sort of situation.
Okay, so it's basically we're entering. The only option of the grapple is to go through the window where the shots are coming from.
Yeah, so yeah, the grapple goes to the window, or you can go through the building.
I'm gonna see what Simon looks like he's thinking. What are you thinking, Simon?
I was gonna try to get the clones to cover fire while I climb, and then see if I can hold on adequately while I wait for you guys a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's not a terrible idea. At least cover fire is a possibility.
I mean, if they're going through the door, then 2 could go up the grappling hook pretty easily, potentially. So good choices
from this angle where me and Simon are, could we be shot at, or is the angle too steep?
The angle looks very, very, very steep. It is possible, but you're not even sure if this person has spotted you yet. Where you're currently located. They definitely saw the clones.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do then is I am going to get my pistol out. I'm not going to fire it, but I am going to keep it trained on the window so that if I see even a hint of someone leaning out to shoot down at us, I am going to fucking shoot back the moment I get a clean shot. So I don't know whether there's some way I can just hold my action and I'm going to spend a turn, hold my heavy laser pistol. I'm going to aim it at that, and I'm just going to take some deep breaths and get my aim on for if I see a target.
All right, I think that's a very good, reasonable action, and I will say that you are taking your aim maneuver, and so you get the full, bonuses from your weapon there. All right.
Okay.
And so back to the top, the mysterious figure is going to roll for something. Not going to say what, but they're not shooting. Let me check the skills. All right. So, next up, Simon, you are still climbing?
Still climbing, and I'm going to see if I can, wave at the 2 clones to communicate that they should, cover fire at the window from where they are.
All right.
I'll whisper that to them if need be.
I'm going to say that they catch it, they get what you're meaning here. So you see them sort of prepare their weapons. So as a sort of response.
Right. And then that means that I'm one round away from the window lip.
Yes. So in that case, it's their turn. Benson's going to go over here. Nork is going to be over there. They're going to start, they're going to, aim their weapons up, and they are going to fire away. 10 and a 13. They're just taking 1 shot each. There's their skills. Where is their dealio? All right. So they basically shoot right through the window, and you're not sure if it hit anyone inside, but it definitely, if not that, it hit the ceiling inside. So, definitely some harassment tactics here going on.
Distractions.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. They've already gotten the attention, so it's not like they're revealing themselves. Me, I'm being a little bit more conservative and just, yeah.
All right, Cash, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to continue breaking for the door.
All right. As you approach the door, you will notice that it is very much open. And it leads to a little stairwell that comes up right into this room over here. You can quite easily see upon coming through the doorway.
All right, I missed an additive in there.
Is it open or not? Is it locked? We didn't account for that.
The door to the outside is presently open. Looks like it's been kicked in, actually. And it's
based on the number of times since the last shot. What's likely another shot coming off in a second or two in the next turn?
I'd say, given the behavior you saw before, so when you guys were in the vehicle, there were a number of shots going off in quick succession that basically raked across the vehicle. That last shot was a single shot. So, if the time frame between the previous volleys is the same, then you're going to be in a situation where it's still going to be like 3 or 4 more rounds. But given there's a single shot, you're perhaps less confident of that.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to go here because I can't make it in that door in this turn.
All right. Next up is Eli, who's cowering, behind the vehicle. All right. Well, then on to Alex. What you doing? Still holding?
I'm gonna carry on aiming. Feel the changes in the air. Get a comfortable grip on the pistol. So spy, watch for any movement in that window. Still training my pistol on it.
All right. So then it goes to the next person's turn, and you're going to see the barrel of a weapon coming out of the window. What do you do?
You know what? I'm going to take a shot at the barrel. I know this is a small target, but I've had technically two turns where I've aimed. So I'm feeling like I might want to take a shot at this.
All right. So roll your skill. Add your...
What do I get bonuses-wise for all the aiming? Because I don't really know that...
So you get your basics for your accuracy. You're also going to get another +1 for an extra turn of aiming. What more? Are you going to be using more than one shot? Are you using your heavy laser pistol?
I am. So I think it's a triple shot maximum, isn't it?
You can shoot up to 10 shots. So
bloody hell. But that's... rate of fire 10, yeah. But that's going to reduce the overall accuracy, isn't it?
It's going to reduce the accuracy of individual shots, but since you're sort of covering the area, it actually gives you a bonus of sorts. I need to double check what that is for...
If it means that I'm more likely to hit the barrel of this gun, then I probably will just fucking unleash 10 shots of the heavy laser on it.
All right. So that will give you a +2 in that case. And then we'll go through and explain a little bit more on what that might mean, depending on if you are able to hit.
At the moment, my skill is that. So what are my bonuses for all the aiming and the burst shot and all that?
Right. So you're firing 10 shots. That's a +2. You are you include the accuracy of your weapon, which is a +6, an extra turn of aiming for another +1.
Holy crap! Because I've got the targeting software as well that I got at the space station, which is another +2 for beam pistols.
Go ahead and add that.
+11. Holy crap!
You're prepared for this.
I made it by 11.
So
that's a bad roll as well.
So the recoil of your weapon means that all 10 shots hit.
Wow! I've just annihilated the barrel of this rifle. It's wrecked. This gun that they're using is wrecked. It's got to be. Do I roll for damage then? I mean, this is a lot of damage.
That is certainly a lot of damage, and this is also perhaps a demonstration to you guys that these kind of weapons can be very, very, very deadly. Just so you know.
I'm D4. I'm 4d6 damage with an armor reducer of 2, so it's not quite as good as their weapon, but.
So I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit of a roll here. Actually, perhaps 2 of them. All right, so you basically laser off the front of the barrel of this weapon, and it falls to the ground.
I'm gonna take cover immediately and just assuming I can, I probably can't, but
Well, you can probably dodge under the behind the tower strut you got right there. You're going to hear something that sounds like yelling or cursing, but it's a little difficult since it's a weird angle where it's coming out from.
Okay.
So that was something. Simon. You see a laser go right, strike the weapon that appeared to be coming out near where you're approaching. Laser through it, and then the end of that weapon falls, and the weapon retreats back into the window.
Cool.
See, I don't even care whether it's just the barrel. The fact that that's been melted off, I mean, that's not going to fire straight ever again. That weapon is done. I hope.
So, you continuing your climb?
Yeah, I'm gonna be right below the window where I'm confident I wouldn't easily be seen, and I'm going to take a sec to make sure my electronet's loaded before I jump over next turn to give everyone a chance to catch up.
All right. So, I will say that we're going to move on to Simon Benson. They make a couple more rolls. All right, they fire at something. You're not quite sure if it has done any damage to anything in particular. In fact, they might not either. So, next up is Cash.
All right, I heard gunfire. Is everyone all right over there?
No one's screaming.
You probably heard, because I assume that that over, because we've got comms obviously, because it's thin atmosphere and all that. You probably hear a kind of Alex saying over the comms, "Yes," as a congratulatory kind of fist pump. And yeah, I'll thumbs up, because from there I can kind of lean out and just about sort of see you from there, I would say. So, well, maybe not, but yeah. Everything's cool here. We've disabled their gun from the looks of it.
All right, sounds good. What can I see inside of this door that's been kicked in?
All right, so it's basically a stairway. You can quite easily make it up. Didn't do the whole paint out what's going on here, but we could say you get over here in a single turn. Because you're hustling. So basically, if you wish, move directly to your right.
And I'd love to do that, but to break genre for a second here, I would like to check for traps.
All right. Roll me perception.
That's actually probably a very good idea, in fairness.
All right. You do, spot that there is no traps, but the stairway itself is not too stable, and a couple of the steps, if you were to step on them without having paid some attention to, you would have potentially had some issues. Okay, they would have crumbled, you would have fallen on your face, and you've gotten stuck on the stairway for another turn.
All right. I'll radio the rest of the team, hey, be careful on these stairs, and I'll start heading up.
All right.
I've got my gun out, by the way.
All right. So you are able to get to this location, yes. Quite easily. And there's a door there, I just didn't put it in. All right, Peter. Mal.
Okay, I'm going to get to here and prep to breach. I'm going to get my pistol out at this point because I've been running as fast as I can without it. Which now we're into the building, I think it's a good idea to get ready.
All right. So I will say at this point that if Cash and Mal are going to basically hustle towards the tower, the clones are going to keep with their suppression fire, and Alex, I'm guessing you're going to be sort of just keep watching that window?
Oh, yeah. If anything pops out on that window, I'm going to pump it full of fucking lasering in.
And Simon, if you're just hanging out by the under the window there, I will say that you guys are able to reach the top of the tower without any issues, because now being aware that there are dangerous steps, you're able to avoid any of the ones on the way up. You can get to this location before anything else crazy goes on. You'll also be in sort of this situation. And the stairway should not be on this layer.
Put that into the map layer. Don't leave it on the token layer. What's wrong with you, man? You crazy?
It vanished. I don't know what's going on. Anyway.
The stairs are closed behind you.
No, they're still there. I just screwed up.
You can probably right-click on the map, whatever's there, and just put that to back as well, and it'll probably be fine.
There we go.
So just as we hit the top of the stairs on the radio to Simon to let him know that we've just got to the middle, so he knows we're good to go.
All right.
I'm going to ask them to lay down a little bit more fire to get some attention before we pop in.
All right. So the clones go and go do their firing, but we're going to say that we're back into the normal order. The person They're just hiding up here. Do they see you coming up? Interesting. All right, so Simon, it's your turn.
I will vault the windowsill and try to get to the nearest cover.
All right, so you're going to end up in this location. And I'll say you got a little bit more of action if you wish to make some activities.
Okay, if I have a little extra action, I'm going to try to ready aim.
All right, you ready and aim, and you do spot that there is a rather large cyborg right over here that you are familiar with. Their name is Melandra. They're kind of a big deal here.
Aye, still ready and aiming.
All right.
Not the diplomatic sort.
She has not seen you, by the way.
Her sense does
Excellent.
need recalibrating.
So there is going to be some more suppression fire. It's going to strike the ceiling approximately over here. But they are going to try to aim, keep their aim in the same general location. So this spot in particular is potentially very dangerous for the time being. So that's the clones are doing. Cash, you're up next. So you're getting to the top of the stairs.
All right. Is she the only person in this room that's not us?
Seems to be. There's a bunch of old equipment here that is covered in ice and dust and all sorts of random debris everywhere, but that seems to be the only person other than you three that are in the room right now.
All right. I'm going to clear the stairs and take a shot.
All right. Yeah, she's in partial cover from that, so there is going to be a penalty for that. But, so there'll be I think only a -1 here, so you're taking a shot with the weapon of choice being your... don't actually have your equipment on my character sheet here, so you tell me.
Should be a pistol. Let me check.
I think I have it out
Yeah,
in your character sheet for you, so...
It's like a 4mm Gauss pistol.
All right.
Oh, damn.
So are you... does it have multiple shots, and if so, are you going to be using them?
I actually don't know right offhand. I've got the HUD uplink with the targeting shot. I guess for simplicity's sake, I won't worry about it. I'll just take one shot.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for to attack.
Like an 8 out of 12.
All right, that's pretty good. She is going to attempt a dodge here. Where is this? It's been a while since I had to look for this particular bit of statage.
Did she see us coming?
She saw you, but not Simon. So.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Yeah. So she rolled 8. Her dodge is 9, so she, the shot goes basically right by her head, and she just barely manages to get out of the way.
Roger that.
All right. Mal, it's your turn. What you doing?
Right, these consoles we're behind, are they blocking my run to that?
You can move between them. So.
Excellent. So I'm going to run to cover here, which is just in range, and then now we've got all angles covered.
All right. You gonna take any shots or anything, or are you gonna leave that to the other folks?
I'm going to take a shot.
All right.
I'm not going to aim, so it's not going to be low accuracy, but we'll go for it.
I mean, I shot her because I don't know her, but she is your friend, right?
Well, I've never seen the android.
I was about to say,
I've
it's
never
only
seen
me
the
and
android.
Simon. It's only me and Simon that are actually really know her.
Yeah. To us two, it's just there's an android here that's been shooting at us. To them, it's a teammate.
Sort of teammate. She's a bit weird.
So how many shots are you gonna try for?
Just the one, because it's a standard laser pistol.
All right. So
And where did they get the actual skill for shooting on this sheet?
in the ranged weapons, it should have the level that you have for your base, for your skill. Yeah, right next to the damage.
There we
and all that.
are. The ST column. Oh, is that another column in there? 'Cause I can't, in that attack one, it doesn't.
On the version sheet I got, your skill is 7.
Okay, that's a miss then.
So, but that's all right. So you take your shots. So
There it is. I find it.
Eli is still doing his cowering business. And so Alex, you hear some zaps upstairs.
Okay, she's engaged. I'm going to climb the rope. Can I like double time it up this rope in any way? Because I don't need to be stealthy now.
All right, give me a climbing roll.
I don't have climbing.
So let's find out if you're going to be able to climb this in a reasonable amount of time, or if you're going
Probably
to fall
not.
off.
Probably.
All right, so give me a roll at Dex -5.
Oh my god. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have done this.
Come on, it's hilarious.
So, my dex is 9. And you're saying I get -5.
Yes.
I fail by 8.
All right, you try to pull yourself up the rope, and you just kind of slide back down.
No, you know what? I did this at boot camp, and ever since the injury, you know what? No, fuck this shit. You know what? I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run around.
It's like, I used to be able to do this. Oh, God.
Alex looks at the rope, rubs his hands together, goes, nah.
I'm just kind of like, you know what I do? As I grip the rope, I kind of took in a rub, and I'm like, what am I thinking? This is a bad idea. Yeah.
So,
Okay, fine. You know, next turn I'm just gonna run around.
all right. So it's now Melahandra's turn. From her, she dodged behind the console here. You see a laser weapon poking up from behind the console, and then as well as a hand. And she says, "Stop firing!"
I'm intrigued. I'm down. All right, let's see what happens.
All right, so are we going to be out of combat? That's up to you guys.
I'm gonna keep trained on her and go, what's going on, Mel?
You may wish to take the weapon from my hand.
She's very cordial. She's very cordial, cyborg, killer cyborg.
She's offering you the opportunity to take the laser pistol from her hand, and disarm her completely. And by the way, this laser is not the one she had been using. That it doesn't show any visible damage.
All right, gonna tell her to turn it around, grab it by the barrel, and empty the clip equivalent.
All right, she turns it, pulls out the power pack, and throws the power off to the side, and the weapon itself off to the other side.
Well, I'm satisfied. So what's happening, Mel?
What? Okay, let me say that I am going to head around via the stairs to go up there. Let me know when I get there.
All right. The clones hang back, but they'll be following eventually after you.
Okay.
So she slowly starts to rise up, and for the new players, you can now see that she is indeed a big spooky cyborg, not as obvious skull looking as the icon says here, but she definitely is not necessarily the most attractive person as far as all that stuff goes. Anything else? Yeah, she has a appearance -4, so just so you get a
Wow.
general vibe for that.
That's the exact opposite of my appearance modifier.
She's also quite large. In fact, she kind of towers over everybody. And when she gets to her full height, her head's kind of bumping up against the ceiling. The ceilings are not super tall, you see. I surrender.
All right. What are you surrendering for?
You tell me. You were the ones firing at me just now.
Well,
You
someone
kind of shot at our car,
truck.
Mel.
Okay, people were talking over each other. I didn't get any of that.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just saying you sort of shot at our car.
I did not know that you were in that vehicle.
Who do you think was in it?
The clones. The Benson and Norcus. I thought they were in pursuit of me.
Well, you're not wrong.
They have strict rules about leaving their supervision. I sought to disable their vehicle.
Why did you leave without us?
I have an assignment
From
One
whom?
from our employer, Reza Khan. I am to be locating a crashed spaceship.
Why didn't you tell us about this?
By the way, this is about the time Alex is coming up the stairs.
Hey.
I was under super special orders in order to prevent the clones from finding out that I would be leaving their supervision.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, whew. Okay,
Yeah,
just give me a moment.
You're actually coming up over here. You left the
Of
card
course,
down.
yeah.
I'll say you actually left the card out here.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because those stairs aren't going to be able to work with it. By the way,
Damn it.
yeah, Simon, your little pet can try the stairs, but they're going to be a little hesitant. But
I would have told it can stay with the cart.
no.
I've got a detect lies skill, and I would like to use it.
All right, go for it.
It's successful, barely.
All right. So, you don't think she's telling you any lies?
I'll holster my weapon.
So, Mel, what the hell happened on the ship?
What do you mean? What the hell happened? I left,
Our
and that
beloved
was a
pilot.
violation of the rules.
Our beloved, well-remembered pilot, I want to say SpongeBob is dead.
Her name's Nikki. Melisandre is going to look at Simon and have kind of a confused look, but it's kind of hard to tell with a face like that. What do you mean? Nikki is dead?
She was murdered with the designs. Alex will explain it better. He's doing the case thing.
Well, the thing is Mel actually knows this because she's like seen it twice before, hasn't she? She saw it. One was like that guy in the station got murdered.
By the way, the clothes
And
are
then there
showing
was
up.
the one on, and then one of her past co-workers, if you want to call them that,
Yes.
I suppose. So it's like I am gonna on my little computer that's got the little screen on it. I'm gonna swipe as you do, and show the photos of Nikki and the designs. I've still got a hand on a pistol kind of thing. I'm using like a little finger to move it across, but like
Yeah,
seems go on.
Yeah, she approaches, so I'm saying.
as long as she's out in the open, that's good. I'm gonna move around as well, so that lots and lots of people have plenty of angles on her.
Yeah, I just want to mention that during no part of this am I going to allow the melee murder bot within melee range of me.
Oh yeah, I'm not as bothered about that, but yeah, well I am bothered, but not and I'm gonna turn around to her and saying, and with you disappearing, and with now 3 murders happening when you've been totally in the area, we were kind of worried.
I do not understand what is happening.
Because how many people came on that ship to this planet for this to happen?
There was myself, Eli, you, Simon, who else was there? Nikki, Scott, and Hex Lug, correct? Am I forgetting anyone?
Your memory's pretty good in that thing, yeah? You got some photographic memory. You can recall every minute since you left the ship till now?
She thinks about this for a moment and says, as much as you can, I suspect. I am not a computer.
I'm just thinking if you had any blackouts, anything that you suddenly find yourself somewhere where you don't remember how you got there?
Let me check something. Sorry for the delay. Too many windows open here now. She is going to reply with, not any time recently.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes at that.
Back in training, there were multiple incidences where I was still getting used to new body upgrades when such things might happen.
Do I get any inkling that she's hiding anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, she seems to be kind of struggling to recall things, but, you know, it's like, it does sort of seem that she's, like, you know, as fleshy-brained as you guys are as far as this stuff goes. It's like, do I remember anything like that?
Do I notice anything on her, around her, that would, like, any kind of marks, stains, scuffs, especially if they're bloody marks, stains, or scuffs?
Well, she is presently wearing her spacesuit battle armor situation, and the voice you're hearing is actually coming through, sort of voice, thing with speaker on the front. So you don't, you're able to see, her face in total due to the, the clear screen on the suit. But as far as like anything, under the armor, you don't know. As far as things outside, on the armor, nothing. Things seem perfectly fine.
I'm gonna look around at everybody else. Just,
Is my detect lies still working for her? Is this all legit?
Yes, it is. It seems everything seems great.
She seems legitimately surprised that Nikki's dead.
She then says, I do not wish to be framed for a crime I did not commit.
No one ever does.
So please let me cooperate as best as I can, but do understand I would like to reserve my rights as they are as best as I can as well.
I'm gonna kind of like smile and shake my head, kind of like a dismissive kind of, and I'm gonna say, no one's trying to frame you for anything, Mel, but there's a lot of strange things going on around here, and there aren't that many suspects. There's a lot of strange things going on with electronics, and you know what? I'm worried. I'm worried that there might be something in some of your hardware. I don't know. This whole thing stinks to me.
At this point, I'd like to lower my pistol, because no longer need to aim it, and just say, did you send me the handshake request, or did you respond to the communication request that I sent?
I responded to a communication request and denied it. I did not receive or send anything else other than the messages via my communication device. She sort of motions to the phone on her belt.
Yeah. So I want to just sort of make a point. I received a handshake request from a non-alien source from this location as we were before the shot started.
Yeah. So I want to specify that the non-alien stuff. If I misconstrued this earlier, the non-alien interface was for sure that you communicated to was at this location. The one that came in, you're not quite sure where it came from, but you do also know it's non-alien.
So we got a non-alien handshake request on the approach, and shortly after that, that's when the shot started on the vehicle.
That is...
So something else. So something or someone else sent a signal from probably this location, because we were approaching it when the communication came in.
That is very unsettling. I observed the vehicle approaching and believed that I was being pursued, and thus I wished to disable the vehicle so I could make a proper escape. But your vehicle was more resilient than I expected, and so I was finding myself trapped here, and I was seeking a alternative path to disable or discourage a pursuit.
If you're trying to disable pursuit, does that mean this building isn't your destination?
No, it is not. She kind of eyes the clones that are now present.
I hate this kind of shit.
Privacy.
What was that, Van?
I'm going to ask the clones if they could give us some privacy.
They're going to sort of look at each other. We're not sure we should do that, says the younger of the two. The older one says, shut up, giving them a few moments. They got stuff to work out. And they're going to proceed to go down somewhere in the tower and take a computer with them, apparently.
Yay! They just look like freaking salvage.
Yeah, I left those as tokens so that in case people want to destroy them or push them around or something like that.
So what you're saying is Benson just grabs the computer, goes mine, and walks off.
Mine. It's a little outdated though. It's a few million years old, but
It's weathered well.
So I am going
to. So how are you going to get this ship?
Give them a perception roll, but they're not going to hear anything. No, go ahead.
So how are you planning on getting this ship off this planet?
Uncertain. I was to investigate it and see if it was salvageable. If it was salvageable, then I would be attempting to extract it from this planet so that we could obtain ownership of it via salvage rights. If that was not possible, I would inform our employer at some point that a pickup team was to be sent and what would be required to do that.
All right, plans?
Well,
So why don't you tell the rest of your team?
One at a time.
Go ahead.
So why didn't you tell the rest of your team about your mission?
I was under orders not to speak of it, but I think things have gone out of control, so screw those orders.
My sentiments exactly. We're here, we may as well look at this ship, and then Hex is probably the murderer.
Surprise! Now, by the way, Hex Slug is back with Scott. the clones were very curious about Scott because his family has been separated from the human race for multiple generations. They're very curious about divergent evolutionary biology. So, but anyway,
Weird.
back to
clones.
this scene. Melandra says, "So, what do we do now?"
Well, I'm gonna holster my pistol, and I'm gonna sigh, and I'm gonna put my my 2 fingers on the bridge of my nose and just shake my head and mutter. It's always the same with these guys. Always giving one orders to one lot, another orders to another lot, and they think it's all gonna work out in the end. Ugh, these guys. Why did I expect to it be any different here? It is in the fucking military.
Melandra kind of shrugs and says, "Well, in his defense, I am not that much of an archaeologist."
Yeah, none of us are. I say that Gepwin and one of us detectives goes to check out this ship, and everyone else goes to look into our killer robots.
Are any
I
of
don't
these
think
terminals?
Splitting up's a good idea.
Any of these terminals look like they might be active? Because I want to find out where that signal came from.
Nope.
If it's maybe this area, I want to just check this out before we go anywhere.
Now, the equipment in here looks very, very dead, very, very inactive. In fact, a lot of the wiring is very exposed because the coverings for the cables and things like that is like decayed off, and so there'd be short circuits everywhere.
Especially this one over here that's kind of been pulled out of the ground and dragged halfway across by Benson.
And some of the devices, like the tops are like sunken in, or things are just cracked and falling apart.
They're old and they've not been. Yeah. But the rest of this building, though, we've got doors here. Is there anything else in the rest of this building we can just take a nosy at before we decide on moving?
Oh, if you want to look around the airport, yes, you can feel free to do such.
I just feel like was it a coincidence or was it good timing that we approached this building as that first signal came in?
That's up to you guys to figure out.
Yeah. Exactly. I just want to make sure, because I don't want to leave this building and find out there's something here we should have paid attention to. And since there only appears to be one other room I can get to, I'm just going to peek through this door here to make sure this room's clear.
Yeah. There's everything seems very dead.
Okay, that seems fair enough. And I assume that door is nothing particularly special.
Yeah, that leads out to sort of a not a utility room, but sort of behind the scenes sort of like luggage will come through here sort of situation.
Okay. Well, I'm going to return and say, well, this place looks like abandoned.
Yeah, I'm going to grab my grappling hooks and start rewinding it and walk to the door and go, okay, let's go take a gander at this ship then.
All right.
Melandra mentions, "I apologize for the vehicle damage. I was going to make sure that things were compensated for after we left. However,
It ain't mine.
However, getting to the ship location will take a bit of a hike without a vehicle. I could easily do it myself. Are you prepared for it?"
Yep. We do have some incoming clone reinforcements. We called for help while you were shooting at us.
I would suspect, no other option there.
So we should probably leave the clones with the vehicle and maybe someone else for all that.
Very good.
I have a hiking skill of 9.
Excellent. You're going to need it. So to clarify, who's going with Melandra to the spaceship and who's going to check out the robots?
I don't think we should split up at all. There's two reasons why we shouldn't split up. One reason is because if Melandra goes psychotic, then it's easier for her to kill everybody. And if there's ending up in combat, we're just thinned out. And secondly, we won't get anywhere any quicker because Izixs can't run multiple scenes simultaneously.
Whoa.
So it'll take exactly the same amount of time to do everything. So this is the thing I always have to point out to any roleplay groups. It's like, yeah, splitting up actually takes slightly longer to do everything.
All right, so if you guys,
I suggest to the clones that they stay here, wait for the reinforcements, because clearly Melarandra doesn't want the clones following.
You could just call the reinforcements.
Someone's going to need to pick up these clones.
Yeah, they're going to need to pick up. Also, we can also, once we get to the ship or get away from the ship, we can always call for them to pick us up.
That's true.
So what are you telling Norcus and Benson specifically?
We're here for the reinforcements.
So there's a bit of wait for reinforcements and what?
So there's two choices. We either say wait for reinforcements, and we'll be back, or we all climb down Simon's rope and leave and don't let them know.
I think we should just tell them to, otherwise they'll just follow us. Probably.
We were supposed to go investigate alien ruins anyway.
I think we should probably deal with the threat of these robots and then find the ship afterwards, because if the threat of the robots is going to threaten us while we're trying to recover the ship, that's going to be bad. Probably going to be easier to do it that way around. And at least they were showing the clones that we are actually doing the mission that they are expecting us to be doing. The mission that we have all been given to do. Doing that first and then recovering the ship seems like the polite thing to do.
I think we should probably look into the ship first. I don't know if it's related to the robots, but it might give us some information about Melandra before we have to fight robots and Melandra.
Which one's closer?
Melandra will say that the spaceship crash is slightly closer, but it is kind of in the weird, not quite the same direction. So,
all right, we let them know that we can tell the clones that Mel has classified information that none of us were privileged to, which might affect the robots, but we can't tell them about it. We have to investigate it separately.
Interesting. So that's the line. That's the story.
It's a pitch.
All right, it's the pitch.
We can workshop it.
All right. Anyone wish to modify this pitch?
Well, these are intelligent people, so if you give them a mystery, they're going to want to investigate themselves.
So we need to make sure. Sorry.
So we need to make sure that they're well aware that coming with us is not an option.
I don't remember. Were they working for Khan too?
The clones were not working for Khan. They've basically hired Khan to help out with this because they might have the manpower, but they don't have the expertise on dealing with stuff like this. Most of the stuff they deal with is not moving.
There's always some sort of level of government that has state secrets, right?
Oh, yes. Certainly this one.
So we just say it's related to that.
All right. Thus, there's any other objections to this general plan? I think we can probably sort of handle this in a roll. So who's going to be the face telling the story?
Good God. What
My
kind
detect
of roll
wise
are
is
we?
about 12.
Yeah, what kind of roll is it?
Unless someone has a persuasion sort of a skill of some sort, we'll do a reaction roll.
I've got acting of 12.
Acting could be of use here.
Yeah, I've got acting of 14. So, if acting is a thing that we can use, then can do.
Yeah, that's why I took it for this.
Yeah, because I don't remember there being specifically a deception, but there might be somewhere, I don't know.
All right, we'll go with acting. So Alex, you want to take it away?
It looks like this is the thing. Is there any way that other people can like support me on this to give me bonuses in some way?
Yeah, if you're all trying to make the pitch together, but you're the one doing most of the talking, I'll say you give given that there's other folks that are kind of good at this sort of stuff, it'll give you a +3. So
okay,
so pretty good chances here.
What would be the actual roll if you don't have a skill?
Acting is going to be
like IQ -5, I think.
Yeah.
Or performance -2, public speaking -5. Yeah, there's a few things, but it's all minuses. But we're
Yeah,
not even
I'll
technically-
not.
Yeah.
I'll not get involved because my role will probably screw it, given the minuses.
So Alex makes it by 6. So they are going to. Did I give them that skill? Interesting. I am going to roll something. I just didn't double check something to see if they believe you.
They're gonna see right through me, man.
Actually, you rolled pretty well, so.
We're doomed people. They're gonna turn out to be like uber killer cyborg robot things made of adamantium.
So basically, they have to crit on this one. So, that's Dorcas and Benson.
Oh,
Benson seems very skeptical of your story, but she doesn't say anything.
I'm so tempted to put my hand on my pistol and just nod at her. I'm just kind of like, this would be so good.
She seems very, very skeptical. However, she doesn't say anything, and Dorcas basically, takes over and says, "All right, we'll wait with the vehicle, and we'll keep in touch. All right."
I'll nod.
As long as they don't follow us, I think we're okay.
All right. Cool. All right, so you guys all off to track down this crashed spaceship?
Yeah, might as well.
Aye.
All right, so I will require one thing before we finish today's session. So you say you're taking the whole hike. You're doing it by foot, right?
It looks that way. Let's sit on my hoverbot if it can handle the weight.
Yeah, does
Listen,
my
you can just
riding
scout.
equine mean I can ride the mule?
Maybe I'll have to resolve this for next time, but I'm going to have you make hiking rolls in that case. It's if they are relevant. If they are relevant, sorry.
I'm fucked.
But
Yeah,
if you
same.
can figure out a way to reduce that, then we'll see. But I'll double check the rules for that. But that will be where we start next time, and then we'll either have you come in strong and powerful and quickly, or you're gonna be lost in some frozen wasteland of a planet and then exhausted and die of exposure.
No, I'm gonna die of exposure. I'll just unfold my habitation module on the back of my hoverbar and just live in that for the entire duration. I don't know how that would work. Well, it can't gain weight when it expands. It's
Nope.
there. So it can't become heavier. I just need to find out how much this thing can carry. Can it carry my weight? So 75. Let's have a little 75. Page 75. I'm totally looking this up. 500 pounds.
It can probably carry, yeah.
So I could sit on this thing as long as it doesn't start getting really steep and nasty and rocky. But it might. I don't know.
So this is a hover device, correct? At some point, you will have to worry about power and fuel at some point.
That's fine. I've got batteries.
Yes.
It takes a C cell every 12 hours, and I currently have loaded into it 20 C cells.
Excellent. That's pretty good.
I've got loads of ammo. I've got A's, B's, and C's because everything I have requires A's, B's, and C's.
All right. And I'll figure out what other issues might be coming on there, but we're gonna worry about that next time. So
I am gonna, before this session officially ends, I am gonna take Melandra to one side and tell her, "Hey kid, sorry about shooting up your gun."
she sort of looks at it and where she left it, basically by the window over here, right about there. It's like, I would like to get a replacement at some point, but I suspect this may be coming out of hazard pay.
I'm gonna smile and nod, pat her on the shoulder, and just keep walking. I kind of feel like she's been telling the truth to us, but I'm still not 100% sure whether she's got some weird fucking. She's been fucking rootkitted. I think she's been rootkitted, and that's it. She's got a fucking malware installed, and she's gonna go nuts, maybe. But I don't think she's aware of it. But I don't know. Might turn out Nikki did it to herself.
Surprise! Everyone else has malware. So Mal, why'd you put it there? All right, anything else before we finish up?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Peter?
Yeah, just before we end, I'm going to go to Mel and just introduce myself. Say, I'm Mal. I'm just being tasked to help out. Because of your new teammates, make friends after you've tried to kill everybody.
Ah, do you also work for Reza Khan?
In a way, yes.
Interesting. We will have to compare experiences and notes at some point.
Excellent, will do.
And Simon? Gepwin?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So we'll close it here. So that was a tense experience, an encounter, violence, laser fights. And by the way,
nearly kill Melandria.
and she, just so you know, the weapon that she was using is that's not her, is a gauze rifle. It's a pretty nasty weapon, and yeah.
I bet it costs a pretty penny as well.
Oh yeah, that's pretty expensive too. I don't have the price on it right in front of me, but I could probably locate that pretty quickly. Costs $7,000. 7,100.
Surprised you guys didn't know she had it.
Well, she she brought with her a large suitcase of sorts, sort of device with her. It was inside that, along with her space armor, which the suitcase was actually her space armor, just sort of inverted around her stuff. So, nice, easy transport for it. But
gauze rifle.
So so effectively she's in a spacesuit, and that's how she's able to breathe, as opposed to most of the party, which has the local breathers provided by the clones here. Which, by the way,
I may actually get in my suit then. To be fair,
so
depends on what I can wear with it, because it's not armored. That's the problem.
Yeah. So we'll get that sorted out between sessions. I will say that you guys, with the provided oxygen, have about 24 hours worth of oxygen. So that's a full day of running around and getting lost and attacked by robots. So you can have with that.
Okay, I probably will then get into the biosuit then, even if I only can wear then my trench coat on top of that for armor, because then at least mine can then be shared around and we can extend the oxygen. Because the biosuit will recycle everything. And I want it, guys, I mean everything. It's kind of gross, but hey, it keeps me alive for as long as the batteries last.
If anyone, if he asks anyone if they want to drink, think about it real hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's finish up. So who are you guys? Where can we find you on the internets? And appreciate you and social medias or whatever. We'll start with Van and go up on the list.
All right. I'm Van Velding. I do a couple different things. You can find me at Van Velding on Twitter.
Excellent.
I'm Peter Taylor. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter under @PeterTaylorTX. I do a variety of gameplays for the most part. Currently doing Graveyard Keeper and 2 Point Hospital over on Twitch at the moment.
Cool. Gepwin, are you alive?
Yes, I'm alive, barely.
Yes. Gepwin's been sick.
Hi, I'm Gepwin. You can find me on Twitter at Gepwin, youtube.com/Gepwin, and I also co-host a podcast with Dr. Izixs called Watchers of Tomorrow, which should be available everywhere, mostly now.
Yes.
So many different places I keep seeing links for.
Melek?
I'm Archmage Melek. You can Google me. If you're really vaguely interested.
He's on some YouTubes or something like that.
Yeah, it's stuff.
And
I do stuff.
Pretty cool stuff. And I'm Dr. Izixs. I'm on the YouTubes and the Twitters and things like that, and of course the Twitch. And until next time, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. And next time we're going to be investigating a crashed spaceship of some sort. Interesting.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes. Till next time, everybody. Toodles. Woohoo!